Welcome to Clue Trail, where true stories unravel one step at a time. From crimes and cults to survival stories and the downright strange, we follow the twists that lead to the truth. If you're enjoying the show, check out Patreon for bonus episodes and early access. Just search Clue Trail or hit the link in the show notes. And don't forget to follow, rate, or review the podcast. It helps more curious minds find us. Now, let's dive into today's case. On June 23, 2018, 12 boys and their football coach disappeared into a cave in northern Thailand. What started as a quick post-practice adventure turned into an international crisis, one that would grip the world for more than 2 weeks. Trapped in total darkness, deep underground, with monsoon rains flooding the cave behind them, their fate seemed sealed. But what followed was a rescue so daring, so complex, it felt like something out of fiction. This isn't a story of crime, but of survival, teamwork, and sacrifice. This is the Thai Cave Rescue. It was a Saturday afternoon, and the Wild Boars football team had just finished practice. The boys were in high spirits. It was one of their teammates' birthday. Before the celebration, they hopped on their bikes and rode towards the entrance of Tham Luang Cave for a bit of exploring. Tham Luang, or the Cave of the Sleeping Lady, is a sprawling limestone cave system beneath a mountain range near the Myanmar border. It stretches over 10 kilometers. During the dry season, it's safe to explore. But when the monsoon rain arrives, the passages feel like a submerged labyrinth. For the boys, visiting the cave was kind of a ritual. After football practice, they'd bike out together, venture deep inside, and write their names on the wall at the end of the tunnel. They arrived late in the afternoon, still in their football gear, led by their assistant coach. They parked their bikes just outside the cave entrance, kicked off their shoes, and stepped inside. It wasn't meant to be a serious adventure. They didn't bring any food or spare clothes, just a few flashlights and each other. The plan was simple: hike through the cave, sign the back wall, and be home in time for dinner. Unbeknownst to the boys, rain had begun to fall hard, miles away in the surrounding hills. As they wandered deeper in the cave, water surged in through the rear tunnels, cutting off their exit behind them. They were now trapped nearly 4 kilometers inside, and no one outside had any idea where they were. That evening, when the boys didn't come home, their parents grew anxious, and by nightfall, a search party had formed. Park rangers, police, and the family members arrived. And there, at the cave entrance, they found the boys' bikes, neatly parked. That was the moment it hit everyone. This wasn't just a delay. The boys were missing. By the next morning, the area around the cave had turned into a command post. Rescue teams began arriving, first local officials, then the Thai Navy SEALs. But even for them, Tham Luang was a different kind of monster. Inside, the divers faced freezing water, razor-sharp rocks, and twisted tunnels, barely wider than their shoulders. Progress was agonizingly slow. And outside, the world was starting to take notice. The media descended, cameras from CNN, BBC, and Thai television all pointed at the cave. This story was spreading fast. 12 boys and their coach, trapped, no word, and the clock ticking. And so, a national emergency was declared, and whilst the SEALs were working inside to reach the boys, Thai authorities scrambled to control the one thing threatening everything: the water. Giant industrial pumps were brought in to push thousands of liters out of the cave, running day and night. Volunteers dug trenches, local farmers sacrificed their crops to divert floodwater away. But it was a losing battle. The monsoon rains kept coming and the cave just kept filling. Every minute, the window to save the boys was shrinking. And then, help began to arrive from far beyond Thailand. Everyone watching wanted to do something. An elite US military team flew in. Chinese engineers brought industrial-grade water pumps. Australian medical divers. It had become an international mission, a race against rising water, falling oxygen, and time. The world was now working together to bring the boys home. And amongst them, there were 2 British cave diving specialists, Rick Stanton and John Volanton. In the dangerous, highly niche world of cave diving, these 2 were legends. For the next week, all these international teams worked together with the Thai authorities, navigating maps, probing sinkholes, even drilling into the mountain above. Still, no one knew if the boys were alive. Ten days passed now, and still no signs of the boys and no way to reach the deeper chambers of the cave. But that was until John and Rick, the 2 British divers, pushed farther than anyone had gone before. Navigating pitch-black water, clinging to a thin rope line, they surfaced into a narrow air pocket nearly 4 kilometers inside. And there they were, all 12 boys and their coach, alive. They were thin and cold and huddled together on a muddy ledge, but alive. Everyone from families to the world watching felt a sigh of relief, but only for a moment. Because finding them was only the beginning. Getting them out, that would be the real miracle. It was day 10 of the rescue mission when the boys and their coach were found. Footage from John Helmet camera flashed across screens everywhere. 13 faces, gaunt, pale, caked in mud, but smiling. They had survived in total darkness, drinking water that dripped from the cave walls, and meditating, a skill that their coach had learned during his years as a Buddhist monk. They hadn't eaten in 10 days. Some were showing early signs of infection. And the ledge they clung to, now known as Pattaya Beach, was slowly disappearing as the floodwaters kept rising. The joy of discovery now gave way to the terrifying realization that this wasn't just a rescue. It was a medical evacuation through 4 kilometers of narrow, submerged rock with zero visibility and deadly turns. Most of the boys couldn't swim. None had ever worn diving gear. And parts of the route were so tight, even experienced adult divers had to remove their tanks to squeeze through. Rick Stanton later recalled, "This wasn't just hard. It was impossible unless we did something unthinkable." Engineers and authorities scrambled for other options. Maybe the water could be pumped out? Could a shaft be drilled from above? But every idea hit a wall, and time was running out as inside the boys' chamber, oxygen had already dropped to just 15%, and that was dangerously low. And the monsoon rains, although stopping for now, they were forecast to return in 3 days, threatening to seal the cave forever. The situation was dire. Then came the rescue plan. It was radical and a last desperate attempt. They would sedate the boys, mask them, strap them in, and guide them unconscious through the flooded tunnels, one at a time. The risks were staggering. All it would take was one single mistake, a leak, a child waking up, and they could drown within minutes. And whilst all the logistics of this incredibly dangerous plan were being debated, tragedy hit. The cave claimed its first victim. During a routine supply mission, Saman Kunan, a former Thai Navy SEAL, lost consciousness underwater whilst placing oxygen tanks. He died inside the cave. He was a hero who gave his life bringing life-saving air to the trapped boys. But still, the mission had to go forward. There was no other way. This plan was so controversial and risky, some called it a complete madness. But for the rescuers inside Tham Luang Cave, it was the only shot they had. Rick Stanton later recalled, "There was no precedent, no manual. We had to invent the rescue and trust each other to carry it through." The plan was as following. Each boy would be fully sedated to prevent panic underwater. This was to be administered by Dr. Richard Harris, the Australian cave diver and anesthetist, which flown in to help early in the rescue mission. The boys would be unconscious, breathing through full face masks, placed in stretchers and wrapped in waterproof rescue sleds, designed to keep them secure, warm, and afloat during this dangerous extraction. Then, each rescue diver was assigned a boy. They'd swim side by side, navigating submerged corridors just wide enough for one single person at a time. Before the rescue began, the teams spent days rehearsing. They laid oxygen tanks every 25 meters, pumped out water relentlessly, gaining precious centimeters, and stabilized each boy with IV nutrition and antibiotics. But pressure was mounting due to the weather forecast. They had to take the only window available, 3 days, to save 13 lives. July 8, 2018, day 1 of the rescue operation. The divers were ready. The sedation protocol had been rehearsed, debated, and refined. Each boy would receive a precise dose of ketamine, strong enough to keep them fully unconscious for the entire journey, which would be anywhere between 3 to 5 hours, but carefully monitored to avoid respiratory failure. Each child was dressed in a wetsuit, masked, hands bound gently to prevent panic-induced movement if they awoke underwater. Then a diver would guide each one by holding their air tank and harness. Another diver would follow behind, watching for any signs of distress. And so, with all that in place, the first boy disappeared into the black water. Hours passed. Then a voice over the radio. 1 out. Their rescue plan worked. By the end of day 1, 4 boys had been successfully extracted from the cave. They were cold and groggy, but alive. The world cheered, but no one relaxed. There were still 9 people inside, and the monsoon clock was still ticking. On day 2, July 9th, with 4 boys already rescued, the dive team regrouped. The conditions inside the cave remained treacherous. Narrow tunnels, strong currents, zero visibility. But the system had worked. The boys inside, by now they knew what was coming. They had seen their friends leave, unconscious, unmoving, zipped into stretchers. Now it was their turn. One by one, the divers sedated and secured the next group of boys. Each child was masked, wrapped, and carefully guided through the same twisting, flooded gauntlet, through choke points over rock formations, up and out. By the end of day 2, 4 more boys had made it out. 8 now safe, 5 still inside. It was then day 3. This was it, the final push. The last 4 boys and their coach were still deep in the cave. Rescuers knew that if they didn't finish today, the cave might flood again, cutting them off completely. So the divers had to move quickly, but carefully. The weather held so far, but the pressure was immense. Then, across the day, radio chatter crackled through the command center. 9th is out, 10th is out, 11, 12. And finally, another voice came through. The coach is out. All 13 were out. 18 days after they entered the cave, they were all alive. And as the last team of divers surfaced, cheers echoed across the mountain. The rescue mission was now complete. It was a miracle of logistics, engineering, and human will. Behind the scenes, physical and emotional scars remained. The boys would remain hospitalized for over a week. Most were malnourished, some had infections. They had not seen daylight for over 17 days. And 2 of their rescuers had paid the ultimate price. Saman Kunan, the former Thai Navy SEAL who died placing air tanks, was mourned as a national hero. And nearly a year later, another rescuer, Petty Officer Beirut Pakbara, died from a blood infection he contracted during the mission. 2 lives lost and 13 saved. The wild boars became international guests, meeting world leaders, appearing in documentaries, and later portrayed in films like The Rescue and 13 Lives. Coach Ekapol was praised for keeping the boys calm, using meditation to lower their heart rates and conserve oxygen. Dr. Richard Harris, who risked everything to sedate the children, was named Australian of the Year. Rick Stanton and John Valentin, the divers who first found the boys, were hailed as legends of their field. But it wasn't just the survival that stunned the world. It was the collaboration. More than 10,000 people played a part in the rescue. Thai Navy SEALs, international cave divers, doctors, engineers, geologists, volunteers, people from across the globe, many of whom had never met. They all worked together for one goal: bring the boys home. Tham Luang Cave was later transformed into a national park and memorial, a place to remember not just what was lost, but what was possible. Because in the darkest place imaginable, hope found a way in. Thank you for listening to Clue Trail. We'll be back soon with more true stories that unravel one step at a time. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.